PowerShell allows you to create something called a script block. A script block, as shown here, is basically a function that doesn't have a name. But what you do is store that function in a variable. So in other languages such as C#, anonymous function. So this is what script block looks like. And as you can see here, you define it within the curly braces here, and then you can invoke that function because it's stored in a variable. You can invoke it with the AND operator here to execute. So if I run this here, so I've highlighted it, I'm going to run this here. We got the output to say, hello, PowerShell. But you can create more complex functions or script blocks like this. So here we have a math operation, and we're going to use the param keyword here. This will allow you to pass two parameters, A and B, and those A and B parameters then can be used within the function here. So we're going to add them together, and then the way you invoke it is using the AND operator here to execute, and then the variable name, and then the two parameters you had. So if I run this here, we've got the output 10, and then I'm changing the two parameters. So here you can see it is now 20. Let's say you wanted to always be -7 days. So rather than keep having to do this, get date, -7 days, what you can do is you can store that in a variable and other people can use it, or you can use it elsewhere in your code. So here, just to show you, so this is the output we get. So 28th of March -7 days from today's date. So here you can see that we can now use that variable to get the date in this variable. So that's where the function is over here. And we are then executing that function and storing its output in this variable. If I run this here, and you can see the output is now stored in there. So then you can use that variable that you just created here to get all the files which were modified in the last 7 days. So you can see how this can be really useful. So if I open this here, and you can see we've got all the files that are modified less than 7 days ago. So here, this is really good because you are not having to define what -7 day is every time. You just define it once, so just like you would with a function. But this is a script block, so it's like an anonymous function that's just being stored in a variable. Script blocks are used in PowerShell a lot, so you should be familiar with what they do and how they work. So they have their own purpose versus functions within PowerShell. Yeah, just remember, define your script blocks in these curly braces here. And you can pass parameters using the param keyword, and then in open parentheses, close parentheses, you would define the two variables that you want to be treated as arguments into the function. And then you can invoke that with this and pass in your two arguments here.